Any minute. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of AltadenaTalks. My name is Brian Bacchus.
I'm Jamal Smith, the second of the trio, and we have returning with us.
The main event.
Oh, she's frozen. Okay.
She's
Well,
pondering what she's going to use as her intro.
absolutely. Well,
So
while she
we're
gets her
going to
stuff
go ahead
together,
and wait for that. This
while
is
she get,
episode
while she
season
get,
4. Watch you get season 4, episode 173.
can you believe it? 173. So before we begin, we're going to do a quick update just so everybody knows. Juana Moore was found. She is safe. Thank you. On behalf of the family, they wanted to thank everybody for their prayers, their shares, as well as anything else that you did to help find Juana. So thank you. Definitely wanted to announce that. And we are happy to find out that she is okay. So shout out to the Moore family. Glad she's good to go. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Tony. I'm sure she'll be back on in a few minutes.
She needs a reboot. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to reboot.
Exactly. Well, TGI Fridays, everybody. We made it through another week. It's been really, really cool. Oh, sorry. And for Tony, I'm not going to do any flashing and all that kind of stuff either. But happy 16th birthday to my beautiful daughter, Naima Rose Smith. I love you dearly. Hope you have an amazing day. You're an amazing young lady. And we love you. And cool. Just want to give that shout out.
And the reason why I have my fingers up because there's 2 birthdays today. There's also Courtney's birthday today.
And happy birthday to Courtney. That's
went
right.
to Disneyland with her son and didn't invite me. I'm gonna kick her tail.
Uh-oh.
Like I thought I was part of the family, but obviously I'm the prodigal son. So we're gonna leave that alone. And I'm sure she's gonna watch this and go, oh, you know how she does it.
Give her birthday shout outs.
She can't take conflict.
So Tony's back now. So our third co-host is returned.
You should have seen what we were saying about you. You were frozen like this.
Yeah, you're like,
I know, and I heard you, and you said, I could hear you guys, and I was talking, and it wasn't coming through. So it's all good. It's all good.
I said she was pondering what she's going to introduce herself as.
No, I was waiting. But I'll give a birthday shout out to my mama. She turned 83 2 days ago.
Oh,
happy belated birthday!
You wasn't here to be announcing stuff. No, we don't know.
I know, and
should have sent us a text. You're making us feel like we dropped the ball here.
No, I'm not. If I didn't tell you and you didn't know, and she is on her way up to Northern California to go line dancing.
Exactly. Nice. She need to get away from all this.
All the time. They've started practice again and stuff. So,
did your dad ever line dance with her?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. She's
like, that's not my cup of tea.
Absolutely not. She started that a few years ago, but she's part of that, Soul Sisters line dance group, and they're going up to Manteca. Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, Jackie Bailey is the big 83, but that's the one I be telling y'all. She be wearing me out. I be like, girl, can you sit down? Because you like an Energizer bunny, and I be good and tired. But she's so incredibly active, which is good, right? When we get more up in age.
We're trying to learn from them. I'm trying to learn. Right. Who are you?
Right.
What's your
name? Because people always be like, your mama seems like she's 60. I go, no, I'm 60. She can't be 60. Well, and it's funny because I always say I'm 60 and people are like, you're 60. I go, well, I will be in 6 weeks. And so hold on. I got to take this important business call. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey.
All right, well, I'm gonna just share something real quick.
See, here's the thing about going live. You might get a call. You might get somebody. An earthquake might happen. We're here on the scene.
I know
letting you know.
She's gonna be
Blow
mad.
by blow.
I'm sharing her little. Naima's gonna be mad. I'm showing her Instagram.
Oh,
So again, happy birthday! Shout out to my
she's like
16-year-old.
Kira right there.
I know, ain't it crazy? Those are all
Yeah,
her friends. Posted
enjoying
all
life.
Look at her. She was little.
Hey, you should put the video up that I gave you for when she was like barely one.
Oh, right. Those are sideways. You can't.
That's cool though.
16 years old, man. Cannot
Kids
believe
are
it.
living life. Thurgood Marshall.
Third grade.
Thurgood.
That is funny.
Thurgood.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on this weekend. There's a lot that has transpired, obviously, this week. And, when Tony comes back, she's going to tell a little bit about what she had been doing this week. We got a few pictures to share. We'll do a lot deeper dive next week, I'm sure.
We're going to do a deep dive.
We need to just take phrases that you like and just create a song about everything.
No, I just do it on the fly, dude. Like, it's so funny. I was flushing the toilet today. Talking about, I'm going to flush the toilet. Gonna make all the waste go down. You know that what song I sing when I do all those? You remember the fish that saved Pittsburgh? Remember when the Silvers came out and sung Mighty Mighty Pisces? That's the tune. You're muted. Unless you're muted on purpose.
I was coughing, but yes, I do remember it, and I love it.
Mighty Mighty Pisces. I know my friend Tiana will be laughing because I'm always doing some Silvers tunes. Boogie fever. I love all that stuff. Anyway, it's Friday.
I'm gonna watch that movie. I'm gonna watch Cornbread Earl and Me. I'm gonna watch Coolie High.
You gonna watch Claudine?
I will watch Claudine as well.
I love Claudine.
Lady Sings the Blues. I'm gonna watch Bingo Long and the Traveling All Stars.
You gonna watch Mahogany?
I might watch Mahogany. I'm gonna watch Silver Streak.
Okay, so you know that movie See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor? You remember that one when Richard Pryor was blind and Gene Wilder was deaf?
Yeah.
Well, my dad worked at Berlin. Richard Pryor came up there to tell him for a week to see how to be blind, but it was so funny because they looked just alike. So people were wigging out, going, Roger, I didn't know you had a twin brother. And they didn't even recognize that it was Richard Pryor. They just, because there's a lot of old white people that was working.
Oh, of course. They don't, they don't see the details.
No.
They all look alike.
It's funny because when he first walked up, from what I was told, they were like, Roger, you can see. And he was like, huh? That's funny.
That is insane, man.
Yeah,
insane
cool,
in the membrane. Well, you want me to do the slides? The announcement?
Yeah, slides, flip it, slide. Forget about your toes in your 9 to 5. Just listen to the slides.
James Bond the Third was in that movie, Fish to Save Pittsburgh.
James Bond III. All right, named it. First, there was a James Bond 1 and 2 to begin with. They had a series in family names going.
You'll recognize him. He was the kid in there. He was a young actor.
Was that Julian Bond's son?
Oh, no.
Nephew.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and do the announcements. Tony will probably
permanent scowl starting to form right here. You see that?
Where?
Right.
Me? Me?
Me.
Only because you're bringing it to my attention. Well, I'm sure when you're trying to look at something close.
When I do like this, and it's gone. So I'm going to start walking around like this. Hey, what? What?
Like, huh? What? Yeah. No, I got you.
I know a few people who look like they just answering questions and waiting for the answer. What?
Oh, I know. All the time.
What'd you say?
All right, here we go with the slides, the announcements, and let's see if Tony comes back by then. Oops, went a little fast. All right, everybody, we're going to start with the Altadena Community Center. As we know, it is serving as the survivor support location. It is at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. They are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you have some questions, you can reach out to 626-398-6174. And then we have the LA County One-Stop Permit Center located at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210. They have walk-in hours Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4:30. And then you can also set up a specific rebuild consultation appointment for yourself or a small group. They have those available on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 to 12:30, as well as Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon. You can also set up an appointment with the Southern California Edison Planner, and they have those available Mondays and Wednesdays from 8 to noon. So to schedule these appointments, you would go to recovery.lacounty.gov/rebuilding/one-stop-permit-centers. Excuse me.
What character is
Hey, you got to look it up. It's a special character. It's a special character. You better quit messing with me, dude. I know. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead. Keep doing it. LA County is waiving or refunding permit fees for homeowners rebuilding after the Eaton and Palisades fires. Homeowners who have already paid their fees can have them refunded, and those who have yet to pay their fees can have them waived. However, to qualify, you must demonstrate that you both owned and lived in your property prior to the 7th of January of this year. Now, those that are eligible are replacement single-family homes destroyed by the Eaton or Palisades fire. Now, this includes accessory structures such as ADUs, pools, garages, etc. And it also includes ADUs that are being used for temporary occupancy during the rebuilding process. What's not eligible, though, are commercial units, rental properties, multifamily or temporary housing projects, as well as properties that are not damaged by the fire. Now, to get a waiver or the refund, you do have to fill out a form. To get the form, you can go to the website recovery.lacounty.gov/fee-waivers-and-refunds, or you scan QR code, which will probably be the easiest thing to do. Now, you can fill this form out online, and once completed, you can include an email to recovery@planning.lacounty.gov, or you can print out a copy and walk it into the office, either the Recovery Center or the One-Stop Permit Center. And the biggest thing is you only need one form to cover all the permits. California Mortgage Fund is still available, providing 3 months of mortgage payments to a maximum of $20,000 for those who qualify. The funds have to be repaid, and it's free to apply. Please note that if you do get the grant, you will not get the money directly. It's going to go specifically or directly to your mortgage servicer. To be eligible, your primary residence must have been destroyed or inhabitable due to the Eaton or Palisades fire or any other qualified disaster between the 1st of January 2023 and the 8th of January 2025. You also must have owned and occupied your home with up to 4 units on the property and not go beyond the income limits of $140,700. Now, if you do apply, you do want to make sure, you do want to make sure to be able to provide mortgage statements, bank statements, utility bills, FEMA claims, or homeowners insurance, as well as proof of income. And to actually apply, you would go to the website calassistmortgagefund.org, and they are providing telephone help Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. if you call 800-501-0019. You can also get in-person assistance at the One Stop Rebuilding Center at 1828 Sawtell Boulevard in LA, or at the Altadena Community Center at 730 East Altadena Drive in Altadena. This in-person help is available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and is provided by Neighborhood Housing Services. Just want to recap the fact that the Eaton Health Village, in partnership with LA County Department of Mental Health and several other community organizations, is providing free medical and mental health care. This is every Monday and Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. This is located at 1280 East Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. They accept walk-ins, or if you do come in, you can schedule your appointment in person. You can also, if you have questions or want to make an appointment over the phone, you can reach out to 951-595-7032. Want to share the ongoing events at LA Fire Justice. Every Thursday morning from 10 to 11, they have coffee chat, which allows individuals to talk about their current situation and dealing with the fires with the folks at LA Fire Justice. And this is at their location, their office at 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100. And then later that afternoon from 12 to 1 at Pinocchio's Pizza, businesses can have that same kind of conversation. And Pinocchio's is located at 1449 North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. And lastly, first Monday of every month from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., they are providing Mental Health Monday. Each of those covers a unique subject. We'll have the next one for you in a couple weeks. And this happens at their offices at 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100. They also, every single, I keep forgetting it to get the actual link, but every Wednesday they have a Zoom call where you get to ask an attorney questions. It's the Eaton Fire virtual office hours. You get to speak with one of their attorneys and get your questions answered. It's every Wednesday beginning at 4:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time and 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. There's no cost and no appointment is necessary. They also are going to continue their workshop series designed to provide a roadmap and answer your questions about the rebuilding process. The next one will be September 16th, which will be laying the foundation, quote unquote, where to start. The next one after that will be September 23rd, designing your future home and plans. Then September 30th, choosing the right builder. And then lastly, October 7th, your rebuild game plan. This is actually going to be at the new location of the Altadena Coalition at 409 East Woodbury Road in Altadena. And they're going to have opening remarks beginning at 6:30. Guest speaker will be at 6:45 and then Q&A at 7:30. I know Tony has a few minutes. Did you pop on so you can say something before you go? You're muted.
I know, that's what I said. Hold on, I'm on mute. Yeah, I can definitely just pop on and talk a little bit about the summit that I was at after the fire. It was really, really, really good information. So many Altadenians were there. They had us take a picture of all of us. And I think, Jamal, you may have it or have access to it or whatever. But it was a great conference or summit. We heard from the people in Lahaina, the mayor of Lahaina, and several of them were there. Io was there, the little guy that, went viral and has like a ton of whatever followers. But even with Io, because I asked him, I was like, are you an Altadenian? And he said, yes, he's been there for 4 years and lived on Thurin. And so Him and his partner, she survived Hurricane Katrina, now living out here, has lived through the Eaton fire. And that's why they started Post Fire, because she's a block captain, but everything that they were hearing wasn't the most accurate information. So they do like we do and vet things very well. He was like, Tony, you know so daggone much. I was like, dude, I'm a 57 years in Altadena, so that's why I know so much. And he's like, well, I really want to maybe collaborate or do some things with you. So we most likely will be doing some things with Post Fire. But it was great. And to hear, like, we are so far advanced compared to a lot of fires. I know people think that, oh, this is horrible. It is. But we have cleared all of our lots in Altadena. Lahaina, granted, it's Maui's an island, but Lahaina they just finished clearing the last property of 1,500 that burned at the end of August, just a couple weeks ago. So, and they have only a handful that are up, where we've got over 200 permits already, around 240-ish or something. And we have lots of houses popping back up. Everybody said, well, if you guys are already at that stage, we don't think it's going to take you as long as it's taken us, right? Some have taken 5 years, some have taken 3 years, but they were really encouraged. And that was encouraging, I know, to me and to other Altadenians that were there, because to hear they're 2 years out from the Lahaina fire and just finished clearing their 1,500 property. Granted, they're on an island, they got to ship things in, they got to ship things out, but still, their stuff is a lot different. Yes, they have a county and they have a governor, and everything, but things just move much slower over there. But one theme that seemed like it went across all of the communities to me was how everyone feels very defensive of their community and says to all these organizations, yeah, you can come, you can talk to us, whatever, but you can't come in and tell us what to do and how to do it. You can come and tell us your experience. You can come and give us some advice about this, or listen and collaborate with us. But as far as you telling us like, oh, you're going to do this, or you need to do this, or whatever, which nobody ever wants to be told, right? That was a running theme for sure. And I think that every community goes through that, but we are definitely well advanced of a lot. We talked to people there from Paradise, from Tubbs, from the campfire, probably every fire in California since, the 2000s. We've talked to people and met people and got some amazing connections. So I will be bringing a lot of those people on the show in the next few weeks. I do have to jump off. I was supposed to be in a work meeting at 10:30. It's 10:31. It's probably going to go for a few minutes. I will try to jump back on in about 20 minutes if you guys are still here. If not, I'll do some other catch up on Monday and talk about who we have that will be on the show next week. So
I'll find the right pictures at that time too.
Yeah, well, they're on WhatsApp.
The Altadena, that was the Eaton fire thing. No,
they were from after the fire. They were from after the fire, and they were.
Right, but what I'm saying, I'll have them next week when we start talking.
That's fine. Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta jump. So toodles, everyone. Good to be back. I will
welcome back.
All right. I will see whoever shows up tomorrow at the Regrow Altadena event that I'm speaking at, and Brennan Lamar and some others are speaking at between 3:30 and 8:30 p.m. on Woodbury. I think it's 435 Woodbury. So toodles. Gotta run. See y'all later. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, so I'll continue with the announcements, and we will we'll be back to BNI. So I don't know how I missed this one, but there's free concerts in the park for those impacted by the Eaton fire in the community to build connection and heal through music. It's every Wednesday in September at 5:30 at Washington Park, located at 700 East Washington Boulevard. Unfortunately, we missed the first two events, but the next one will be September 17th. It's a solo stroll through the blues with Preston Smith and classical notes. And then the last one will be September 24th, Great American Songbook and Classic Rock with Anne Louise Christensen. To register, visit PasadenaVillage.org or call 626-765-6037 or scan the QR code.
Scan it.
Scan it. So join Victory Bible Church in conjunction in connection with Project Passion. Join them for a morning of blessings and giving back to Eaton Canyon fire survivors. It's a community donation giveaway. It's a free event for families in need. Just sign up to reserve your spot by scanning the QR code. It's taking place Saturday, so tomorrow, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Victory Bible Church, located at 1497 North Hill in Pasadena. Some of the items being distributed are air purifiers, towels and bedding, cookware sets, diapers, brand new clothing, new tennis shoes, and much, much more. So definitely check this out if you are in need. On Sunday, there's a mutual aid pop-up located behind Underdog Bookstore at 312 South Myrtle Avenue in Monrovia. It's going on from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. while supplies last. It does say for you to enter off of Palm Avenue and basically take what you need and share what you can. This is put on by Operation Healthy Hearts. So you're invited to a community town hall meeting at Robinson Park Recreation Center at 1081 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Pasadena, Monday, September 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pink's Hot Dogs will also be there. You get the chance to join friends and neighbors to learn about Reframe System Homes for you. You get to learn about their modular pros and cons, hear from Reframe System team about design, build, and financing, and also get an update from LA County on the Eaton Fire recovery. To learn more, please visit Reframe Systems website, which is reframe.systems. Or you can call 351-223-4884. You can also kindly RSVP at Kitty MJB, so KITI MJB @yahoo.com. Or you can call 626-831-5860 by today, which is September 12th. The Altadena Chamber of Commerce and Civic Association is now accepting applications for the Altadena Business Recovery Grant Program Round 2. It is for Altadena businesses and nonprofits only. They're providing grants amounting from $500 to $1,500. Excuse me. For more information, you can scan the QR code or go to the website AltadenaChamber.org. And the deadline to submit the application is the 26th of September. So you got a couple weeks. The Here Lay a Home exhibition is continuing at the Armory Center for the Arts. This is going on until the 28th of September at 145 North Raymond Avenue, Pasadena. Come check out the young people's artistic rendition of their experience related to these fires. The gallery hours are Fridays from 2 to 6 and the weekends, Saturday and Sunday, from 1 to 5. They are available for appointment only on Thursdays. So Neighborhood Housing Services and Restore the Legacy LA Coalition are providing rebuild and recovery workshops. There will be a couple in our area. The first one has already passed. It was last weekend. But then on October 4th at First Church of Nazarene from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., there will be another one. And this is located at 3700 East Sierra Madre Boulevard in Pasadena. There will be one on December 13th at the Pasadena Presbyterian Church, also from 11 to 5. And this is located at 585 East Colorado Boulevard in Pasadena. Excuse me again. Then at the Center of Hope, the Legacy Summit will take place. This is going to be from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on Saturday, November 1st. This is going to be located at 9550 Crenshaw Boulevard in Inglewood. Some of the topics covered will be mission-driven real estate services related to whether you're going to buy, sell, or rebuild, technical support to select a general contractor or architect, interim housing support, low-cost construction project management, and estate planning legal services. Those will be provided at no charge. To register, you want to go to nhslacounty.org and go to the event section and register there. And as we mentioned right before Tony got off the phone, there's an event called Regrow Altadena, Resilient Sustainable Communities, happening tomorrow and Sunday from 3:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. On each day. It's located at the Eagles Lodge, 455 East Woodbury Road in Altadena. Tony will actually be speaking at this event tomorrow. She doesn't know exactly what time. That is actually going to be coming a little bit later, but please definitely come check this out. It should be a very nice event. And I'm looking for something. Oh, here we go. That's interesting. So this free 2-day event brings together innovation and community, featuring resilient and affordable home building and home hardening solutions, people first mobility, community emergency hub concepts, and shared neighborhood resources like solar, fire detectors, and gardens, all accompanied by food and music. I have a different flyer I'm actually going to share real quickly because it does have QR codes on it. I don't know why I don't have that one up here, but let me stop sharing this one. Share this. Okay, so this one has a specific QR code for both day 1 and day 2. So again, if you want to scan those, that's the best way to register for those events. So I'll keep those up for a couple seconds, and then I will continue with the slideshow. And again, Tony's going to be speaking on tomorrow, on Saturday. We don't know exactly what time, though. All right, and I'll move on. I'll remove this one, bring this back up. So as we know, Chris Holden's 26th Annual Community Resource Fair and Block Party has the new date of Saturday, September 27th. It'll be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., the 500 block of East Jackson Street in Pasadena. It's hosted by LA Fire Justice, so definitely come check that out. The first one was canceled due to concerns over the heat. It should be, hopefully, the weather will cooperate with us on this particular date. This is where you can actually shop local and support fire-impacted vendors. There'll be resources, community members, and government officials, probably community officials as well. So definitely check this out. And we will be there. We will have a booth. Come check us out there as well. Say hi, and this should be a good event. So that's it. That's it for today. I'm sure there's a few items that have been forgotten or missed that are happening this weekend. As I find them, I'll put them on our community page. And welcome back, B.
I'll be over here grooving to the music and doing my background stuff in the background.
Right.
Make
Speaking
sure
of
that everything goes down. And no worries, Alan. That's what we do. You know,
thank you, Alan.
You handle Inside Edition. We'll handle the editorials of 60 Minutes. You know, me and Alan always got this little jab session going all the time. So our website is going to be updated. In fact, I think I got everything I need on it published. And there's going to be a Ebony. Oh, I didn't do that. So I'm adding another category. It's going to say Ebony Power 100. So you can check us out on the website too, in case you are not able to get to YouTube. So, we always try to, what do you call that? Do stuff in the background while we doing stuff in the back. So we're multitasking. I got the screen over here looking at the two. I've showed you all this before. I've got the two screens over here showing the two Instagrams, and we never look at the YouTube because that one is already going. We don't, but small stuff. But it's not small. It's like actually that's where we really need everybody to focus their attention to is we want everybody to focus on focus on what is available to you for the weekends during the week also. And you know how we do it. We see each other in passing all the time, Alan and I. And Alan's got the big giant microphone. He'd be out there. Tell us where the Epstein tapes are.
Tell us where the body.
One of these days, we're going to interview each other. So next time I see you out there, Alan, I'm going to put you in front of my camera.
We have microphones and cameras looking at each other, interviewing one another at the same time. That's what you should do.
That's what me and Tony did over at the park.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
I actually sent those pics to her on Instagram. I'll forward them on to you. I think that's why she thought they were on WhatsApp. But
I remember seeing them. I just couldn't remember where they were.
Yeah, I think I sent it there. But yeah, Alan, we'll do Bryant Gumbel and Ted Koppel and hook that up for you soon. So Tony is back and he's got something to say.
Told you I was gonna pop back on. I don't be playing in meetings. I'll be like, look, I gotta go. No,
I'll be playing. And if you guys want to support us, there's the ticker at the bottom. She's got to get her breath fresh for the camera because we can smell it through the audio.
This is throat spray crazy because I told you I was sounding like a frog. This is throat spray.
I'm messing with you.
My breath is always fresh.
Like to thank our guests for coming on. Mosan Moore. We just had Brown Girl Brunch series come on. Thank you for tuning in. And Action Altadena has joined us from Instagram. These two are both from Instagram.
From the gram.
When we show you, when we pop you up, that's what it looks like. So welcome, Brown Girl Brunch series. Want to check that out. Hopefully you're in town or close by so we can pay homage. And
homage.
Homage. That's all I like to say, like cabbage.
Okay, homage.
Yeah, I like to be corrected, but I'm still saying homage.
Oh no! I wasn't correcting you.
I was just saying, with you.
Although that is the correct way to say it, but no.
I know. We were having a discussion about where we were going to do. I know I'm going to get blasted for saying this, but we were having a discussion about where we were going to have our 40th reunion, and everybody kept calling the place Florida-less, and I'm like, it's called Fleur-de-Lis.
Fleur-de-Lis. It's Fleur-de-Lis. So I'm probably the worst person to talk to when it's anything French because I took French in high school instead of Spanish. So anything that's a French term or name, which my name is also, I'm going to always say the correct pronunciation. But it's all good. Y'all go to Fleur-de-Lis. No.
I always wait for someone to say it first, that actually say it. I never try to say these words I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a walking dictionary. Now, maybe when I was in 4th to 6th grade, I was a walking dictionary. But
you're walking movie and soundtrack and CD.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Anything else, how are you not a walking dictionary or encyclopedia?
I can do that part. Walking.
You're a human hard drive. That's what you are. You remember everything.
Full of useless facts.
Well, not all. Not all.
He's Brian AI Bacchus.
Yeah, I guess so. The
He's
AI
machine
stands for always into something.
That's
Well, there's that too.
that too.
All right. So let's see. Did that work? Did that go to the main page? Yeah, so we it's Friday, it's Freaky Friday, it's birthday Friday. I will be having some drinks with some birthday people tonight. So if y'all are around town, meet us at the Eagle. That's where we'll be.
Isn't Pamela Smith's birthday this weekend or her party this weekend or something? I'm not gonna be able to go obviously because I have to be at
I didn't know about any
this
parties.
thing tomorrow. Yeah, I guess she's having her party or something, a 60s or 70s thing. I don't know, 80s thing, something. I looked on Facebook, but I'm so not on Facebook or anything almost anymore because I'm constantly into something.
Right.
So meetings, all kind of stuff. Somebody asked me for Tuesday next week. Oh, can we meet for lunch? I know you're usually finished working 12:30, 1 o'clock. I said, what day? They said Tuesday. I said, oh no, I got to meet with the county Tuesday from 1 to 2. So I'm just like, oh wait, no, that's Monday, I think. The 15th. When's the 15th?
That's Monday.
That's a Monday.
Oh, okay. So I could do lunch Tuesday. Okay, so Monday we got to go up there to Lamouta Park at 1. Oh, see, I told her the wrong thing. I need to.
Oh, you needed to tell me. I didn't even know.
You need an assistant now.
I did tell you, but you said you were going to be in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am going to be.
Or something like that, right?
Yeah, I'll be gone from Sunday to Friday. So
yeah,
I'll be doing the show from there. I'm going to go take a tour of Boxable while I'm up there, and see what they're talking about. And met the owner of Gigacrete, not the representative, but the owner.
Oh, that's good.
And he wants to take me on a tour of the place. So
that's interesting.
Well, remember, I met the owner.
It don't matter. That's just interesting to me because you know why.
Oh no, I know why. That's why.
Right.
That's why I said. That's why I told you what I told you. I mean, say what I said. I want the horse's mouth. I don't want the horse's butt.
Right. Well, and I mean, if they do have now the technology and they're doing it right, because it's obviously once somebody starts it, somebody else is going to do it on their own and have their own factory and all that, right? What they use will be their proprietary. But the fact that, old boy was saying what he was and telling builders how much to mark it up. And I'm like, no, that defeats the purpose of you coming into our community affordably. If it's costing you, as a manufacturer, you could sell it to the builders at 50 and you telling them, or 60 or 65, and you telling them mark it up another, to 95 or 105 for their profit.
Not for this town. This town
right. That's what I told them.
Not trying to do that.
And we don't want you in here with you at all.
There's going to be so many opportunities for people to go with so many different builders.
So many.
That once things really start getting underway, costs are going to significantly change, especially for the higher up. Now, for those that have like 20 or 30 homes that they're only doing, they're fine because that's all they're doing. But for the ones that are out here like ambulance chasers trying to find the best victim possible, you're barking up the wrong tree because you look out for ours. So, this is AltadenaTalks. This ain't we gougy talk. So be prepared. But the fact
is, like I was saying before I hopped off for the call I had to get on, every single person that was at that summit that has been affected by fire, and there was everybody from my house burned to my parents' house burned to my family's house burned to my house wasn't affected to my house had smoke damage, but my schools are gone. It's the whole community. And then on top of it being the whole entire community, like with us, it's then the community, besides all the grief stuff, we're extremely protective of our community. And we don't want what we know could happen. And that's all the land grabbers to come in and buy up everything and snatch up the land and build on it because they know once it's built, the house is going to be a minimum of $2 million, you know, house. And so, and I met Lori Gay, president of Neighborhood Housing Services. She's going to come on too. Had a fabulous dinner with her and her husband the other night, and it was amazing. But she likes what we're doing. She wants to come on the show because I want people to hear from her mouth and her 30 years of experience, what they're doing, how they're doing it. She talked about the Williams family and how they purchased the house from Michelle, or the lot from the owner. And this man, I had remember talking to Ellen, but I didn't know he was as dirty as he was. So what he did once the house burned, and Michelle, because she's lived there 17 years as a renter, you know, and she told Lori and them, I just never thought about home ownership. And it's like, that's how you have a son. You pass that down. That's how the wealth is created generationally. Well, her landlord told her, the landowner said, I'll give you first right to it, or right of refusal, but you got, I think, 10 days or 5 days. It was something stupid to say yes. Not even like, give me a 30-day notice. You just lost everything in this fire. You're traumatized. But it was a very short amount of time. And I remember talking to Ellen about it, but didn't have the exact numbers. And then Lori talked about it at the summit and said, then he wanted a 14-day close. Wanted her to tell him within like 5 or 7 days, and then
of the fire, when nobody was selling real estate or closing, or
they weren't even settled well yet. And so neighborhood housing stepped in, was able to purchase it in this short amount of time, and do that 14-day close. And now they're working with Michelle, where she's going through their entire program, right? Because you have to be able to, when you buy a house, you got to be able to mentally and physically, you know, financially afford it and know what that whole process is. So their neighborhood housing has a whole counseling thing on managing your money, on, you know, property taxes, just everything. So Michelle's going through the program. They are going to go with whatever builder neighborhood housing use, but it's going to be a prefab. And then their mom, Tilly, because, you know, all of them, Crystal, Michelle, Ellen, and Lord, I keep forgetting. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name. Anyway, the fourth sister, because she got the grandmother's house, which was right there on Palm. And so all of them are, you know, in the process, but Lori announced that their mom, which is Tilly, who I know, is also going to do prefab, because for a while, her insurance company was tripping with her. I remember Ellen telling me about it, and I told her, you know, they talked about they had dropped her and all kinds of foolishness. So I told Ellen, here's the memorandum that the insurance commissioner and the state has said if it was within from October 7th through January 7th, they had to reinstate people. And, you know, so she didn't know. And she said that was very helpful. But Lori Gay gave some amazing information, and she's going to come on for NHS to talk about all their programs, all their counseling programs, the legacy type building programs, which I keep telling the people, put your house in that trust, put your land in that trust. Once you have it, set up the bank account. All proceeds of life insurance and whatever else need to go to the bank account. That's how your family builds your family bank account. You don't ever have to go borrow money if someone needs a loan or a car or a down payment. You borrow from the family's bank, then you pay the bank back. And once the house is rebuilt, the parents or whoever pass away, make sure you have a succession plan, right? And in that succession plan, whether it's the children, the grandchildren, the great-grand, whoever, you know, will live there, they have to pay rent every month. This isn't, the house is paid for and it's a freebie. I don't care if it's $1,500 a month, right? A house up there in Altadena, once it's rebuilt, valued at a couple $1 million, market value would be $8,000-9,000 a month that you could get rent. But you don't want to do that to family, because you want them to still be able to build wealth. So have it something that's reasonable, $1,500, $2,000, whatever, that they can afford, but they pay.
That covers the property tax.
And well, but if the property taxes are only $1,500 or $2,000 a year because they're under Prop 15 or 13, excuse me, no, you don't want it to only cover that, right? You want it to be something that's reasonable. So even if it's $2,000 a month, you're not going to get a brand new house with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathroom, whatever, at $2,000 a month. But it puts the responsibility onus on whoever is living in the house. And it's not just, we're living in grandma's house scot-free. It makes them stay responsible. It gets paid every month into that trust bank account. And then, yes, when property taxes have to be paid or any repairs need to be made, the money is there. And so, and the executors of the trust and the trust bank account are the ones that would manage that. Everybody doesn't have access to it, right? There's only a certain number of signatories. So as we were sitting at dinner and talking about this, it was her and her husband and myself and Dr. Nana. And she was like, "Are you an estate planner, Tony?" I said, "No." She said, "Why not?" She said, "Because exactly what you said. I have estate planners and lawyers on NHS, and you have just rattled off exactly what they work with people to do." And I said, I know it. I have my parents, do their trust and all this. I said, and if you own a property, you have to do it that way. If you want to create that generational wealth, if you want to create things, hold on, this is my daughter. Hey, I'll call you right back. I'm still on the podcast. Okay. Okay, bye. That's the nurse down in Baton Rouge. I was telling her this and she was like, "Tony, we have a program at NHS for people that want to become or are good with things like this to become estate planners that you might want to join." So I'm going to talk to her about that as well. But she was like, "You have so much knowledge, you need to be helping people with it." And I said, "Yeah, I'll help any Altadenians, so that they can learn this, or anybody basically." But anyway, she's got decades of knowledge, and I'll be super excited to have her on the show pretty soon. Veronica, I did speak with her as well, and I know you did, from Altadena Historical Society. Yeah, I always want to say the Heritage Foundation, and she's going to come back on. She had a family emergency last week on the day she was supposed to be on. But for next week, we have Senator Sasha Renee Perez coming on what day? Tuesday. And then, hold on, I got to go to my Google Drive real quick because that's where our line sheet is, right?
I saw Veronica at the Altadena Chamber of Commerce thing too.
Right. And I'm going to email with her today to get her date rescheduled. But not tomorrow. Tuesday, we have Senator Sasha Renee Perez coming on. And then on Thursday, I have Isabella Carabed. She is the USC School of Social Work. She's a doctoral candidate. This is her last semester and she'll have her doctorate. She has created an amazing app for people, if especially parents or mothers who have had a child go back to work, and then how do you cope with the whole work-life balance, raising kids and all of this. And so when I went to USC to speak to this doctoral program a couple of weeks ago about what we're doing with AltadenaTalks, she contacted me and she was like, "I would love to meet with you." We met, and so I invited her on the show. So that's Tuesday and Thursday of next week. But super exciting stuff that we're going to be doing very soon, people that we'll have on. And we do it. Brian, you're super blurry. I don't know if you purposely blurred yourself. Oh, no. The photo behind you is great and crystal clear. Just you are a full blur. Yeah, your hand looks great.
No, you have to put your hand up there in order for it to come
now back. You're good. You're back.
Yeah, it just does that all of a sudden. I don't know.
Yeah. So
and
yeah.
the lighting is overcast, so it's not really giving me my light.
Glad to be back. Glad that I was in the room this week up in Sonoma to really learn so much and hear from people. It's crazy. I was sitting by this guy. He's a deputy director of CAL FIRE. And we started talking and I was like, "Oh yeah, my brother's the chief for CAL FIRE. Da, 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 da." He was like, "What's his name?" I was like, "Jeff Bailey." He was like, "Jeff? That's your brother? He's on my team." This man is out of like the Sacramento area and all that. And he's deputy director of CAL FIRE. But he knew my brother. And so we started talking and he was like, "Yeah, a couple months ago, I was on a plane and I met your nephew, I think it is." And I was like, "Who?" Right? And I knew it would probably be Dakota. He said, "I don't remember his name, but he was talking about this new kind of mesh for wound care." I said, "That's Dakota," because he's a medical sales rep. So we took a picture. I sent it to my brother. He was like, What the heck are you doing with Frank?" And I was like, I'm at the After the Fire Summit, and he's here. And I said, "Yeah, he told me he met Dakota." I said, "Before you know it, he's going to meet our whole family on a plane, at events, or who knows what." But like, just to be in the room with all of these amazing experts that know. And then Sean Brown was there, who is the principal of Rosebuds Academy.
Yep.
I told her I want to bring her on to talk about what is happening with Rosebuds. I know they're at Don Benito, but the resiliency of those children to have gone through the pandemic, some of them that are still there, to have gone through losing their school and their homes. And because I asked, I was like, how are the babies doing? She was like, they're fine. And I was like, kids are so resilient. If we could just all go back to that childlikeness to have the resilience. So Sean said, yes, she'll come on. It'll probably be at some point when they're on break, obviously, since she's a principal. But just amazing people that we as AltadenaTalks is now connected with. That Four Leaf is a company, and they're coming down still, him and a couple other people. But I told everyone about our events in October and November. And so they're going to try to align some of their trips so that they can come to our events and possibly sponsor or at least be a resource for the resource fair that will happen in November at the Day of Thanks Luncheon. But they said that obviously what we're doing is so crucial and important for the community. And so kudos, Brian and Jamal, because we are where we need to be, where we're supposed to be, which we know, but to hear it from fire survivors that have been doing this now for many years with them, this is a component that we are doing that they said they lacked or missed, in their towns until much later. So the vision to do this, Jamal, once Brian was out there going live and you said start a podcast, is phenomenal that both of you have done this, and it wouldn't be what it is if I wasn't on the show. No, I'm just playing.
Hey, you're speaking truth. You are speaking
truth.
Kidding.
I did that purposely to get his reaction, and he's doing just exactly what I knew he would. Because
but in all
it would be the same if any one of us was missing.
It takes
in all honesty, I was like nervous about doing this in the beginning. And Jamal didn't really want to do it because he don't like being in front of the camera. And I said, I've been sharing Tony's stuff. I'm like, she could be a great person to be on it, so she could save us all. So here we are.
This is the perfect Three Musketeers, I tell you, because even people that I said, like, we have 172 episodes today, or the day before, I was like 170, 171. People were like, how many? And then they were like, how? And I said, we're on.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, I said, we're on 5 days a week. And they were like, how? I said, oh, we all work into, who did that, Jamal or Brian? Probably Brian.
I made that. But
I need that picture. Put it in our WhatsApp, because I'm going to
long time ago, Tony.
I haven't seen it. Put it in our WhatsApp right now, Jamal. I need that.
It's in there.
Put that back up. That is hilarious. The Treacherous 3. Yeah. And you did it. That's the AI picture you did with my blue hair. The hair like this, but it's blue and purple. That's dope. The Treacherous 3. I love it.
Why we look like we got on scrubs?
well, the one you look like looks like a jail uniform. The one I look like obviously is not, because I have a tie going around my neck. And the Jamal, he's
leaning down and be on one knee.
Right.
Be on one knee.
That's hilarious. I absolutely love that. And wait, I'm gonna take a picture with Snagit.
I'm surprised you never.
I make so much stuff and send it over there that y'all didn't even pay attention to it.
Probably not. Okay, I got it on Snagit. You don't even have to put it in WhatsApp now. I just snagged it, so I'm good. But I told them, I said, we all work remote. We're all in tech at some level. And so we can literally stop what we're doing for work during the day to come on and do this. And I said, and the most important part is it's an absolute labor of love for us to do this for our community. This is where we've been for, when I kept telling people 1968, they were like, what are you talking about? And I said 57 years. They said, but you're only about 40. Everybody thinks I'm 40. And I was like, yeah, keep thinking that. I said, no, I'm actually 60. They said 60. I said, well, I will be in 6 weeks. And they were like, there's no freaking way. We thought you were our age. Like Io just turned 40 this week. And I was like, nah, bro, you could be my kid. I have a 38-year-old, a 37, a 30, and 28-year-old. And they were like, how? And they're all, you know, vanilla, right? So I was like, I know you guys have heard the term black don't crack. I said, this is perfect example, right? And they were just like, oh my gosh. But it was so funny. And then even like Sean looks like she's 20, right? Sean Brown. And so I said, her too, you know, and I said, and she's a principal. And they were like, what? And then we're both, you know, brown skin. So they were just like blown away. But it was a really great time for networking and connection, not just the networking piece, but the connection of, I'm talking to people that went through this 7 years ago. I'm talking to people that went through this 5 years ago. Talking to people that went through this 2 years ago, the Lahaina people, because the mayor, his wife, and lots of his staff and stuff were there. And they're like, you guys will recover and you guys will rebuild, you know? And so to have that encouragement, to know that we're so far ahead in 8 months and much further than some other people, is really, really good. And, you know, to know that we do have houses that are up and, you know, have roofs being put on, have windows being put in, are being Tyvek wrapped, and people will probably be home before Christmas is phenomenal. And for the work that we're doing here to get the info out to people, we are grateful for all that have recognized us and recommended us, like Miss Rhonda Carson, to be honorees of this Ebony 100 Power 100 Award, and Fire Aid to say, hey, what you guys doing is amazing. It's so needed. And then to hear that from these other fire town and city survivors makes me just know that we are exactly where God wants us to be and exactly where we're supposed to be in this season of our lives and for Altadena and our community.
Agree. Actually, I have a question related to the event that you went through this week. And you may have said this, I apologize if I didn't hear it. I was trying to do some sharing myself, multitask. But when the next community goes through this, is there a framework or an updated plan to help them move forward and make things a little bit more efficient based on what they've learned through all the other events, and in particular the most recent one for Eaton and Palisades?
So the framework is what After the Fire is doing. It's not a playbook, right? Because every city, town, island, whatever is different. But that's why they immediately find the community leaders, because the way that I was found was literally from an LA Times article that was done on me. Jennifer found me, then somehow got my email, I guess maybe our AltadenaTalks or something, and started emailing me. And I was like, who? And then people have seen like the Team Rubicon video. There's a guy up there named Tennis, and he was like, no, John. He was like, I know you. And I was like, no, to myself. But he had read the the LA Times article and saw me something else. So he knew like my face and my name. And so many people were like, oh, I'm going to follow you, and went to follow us on YouTube right then, right? When they were talking to me. And we're saying, yeah, this is great. But the framework is they find leaders in the community and the voices that need to be amplified. They come down wherever you are to your city and invite the leaders in. You have a round table. I remember the first one I went to with them, I could barely even talk. I was crying. And there are times when I talk about what happened, or I see like the videos that my daughter, took that night. I lose my voice. And I know that's a trauma response, but literally I start crying and I just lose my voice. And so they were talking about that. There was a psychologist there who is with Stanford, but she's also with the VA Center for PTSD. So after she spoke one day, I went up to her and I said, thank you for all that you do, because I'm a veteran with PTSD. And then I told her, and CPTSD. She said, oh, wow, you have CPTSD? I said, yeah. She said, that's not easy. She said, that's a whole nother monster on top of PTSD. I said, I know. And when I was diagnosed, I was like, well, what the hell is that? You know? And I said, but I want to tell you,
what the hell?
Yeah. I was like, I really want to tell you, thank you for all that you do. And your part now going around with After the Fire, because everybody that was impacted now has trauma, right? And your body holds trauma. Because I literally am an MST survivor, which is a military sexual trauma. That's for people that have been raped, sexually harassed, all kind of things in the military. And I held on to it and never told nobody for 33 years. But my body, your body holds trauma. And my body forced me in 2017, 18 to go get the therapy I needed and start working through something that I had held on to and never told. I never told my parents, never told my ex-husband, my kid, literally nobody for 33 years. And so what they do and how they're able to extract it from you and help you, I can now cope. I can now cope with my trauma responses, right? Because there are triggers and trauma responses that your body and your brain has. And so I was talking to her about that. And I said, the work that you are doing here is so important, because avoidance is a huge trauma response. So if you start avoiding people or things or situations, go get some therapy, y'all. Shopping is a humongous trauma response, because people don't realize, I'm not dealing with this trauma. I'm going to go and I'm going to shop. I was a shopaholic and still have things that I have multiples of that I've started getting rid of, clothes and different things. But because you want to cover what you don't want to talk about, right? And if it's trauma of this fire, if you're having nightmares, I used to have for 33 years, y'all, a nightmare. I was up every morning between 1 and 3 a.m. And my biggest flashback or nightmare thing that I would have 100-foot wave of water, at least 100-foot wave, come and just overtake me wherever I was. I could be out, and this was a nightmare. I would just wake up. I could be in my dream shopping with somebody, out eating or whatever, and all of a sudden this 200-foot wall of water was just out of nowhere, because it was coming to take me. And so I learned during my PTSD therapy for a couple of years that is part of the avoidance, but then all at the same time, you're going to be overwhelmed because you've never dealt with it. And until you deal with it, your body in different ways, your brain will hold that trauma and will terrorize you, will antagonize you, will re-traumatize you. So when we talk about, or we have people on here, or we show, this is where you can go get free trauma counseling. This is where you can go to this therapist down at the Paseo or here or there. If you don't have insurance through a company, go take use of these free services. And if you do, go. Don't be ashamed to go, because that's part of trauma response too. You're shame, right? You feel guilt when maybe something that happened to you that was not your fault, but the way we internalize it is guilt and it's shame. And so you hold on to it. Don't hold on to something like I did for 33 years. And then when I did start going, I literally got a job up in Monterey back in 17, and it was on a base. And one of the guys that I worked with, he saw the PTSD in me and I didn't. And he said, you need to go to the VA. And I was like, nope, I'm good. He was like, no, you're not. He said, just you saying you're good is part of it. He said, but I see when somebody says something, you snap on people, like you ready to bite heads off and fight in an instant. I was like, and I've always thought that was just me, right? And he was like, because when I was little, I was ready, right? But he was like, no, that's PTSD response. He told me 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, did you go to the VA? I was like, no, I'll go. So then he started threatening me. If you don't go by next Tuesday, because we would always do this welcome thing to all the new people on the base. He said, I'm going to ask you again. If you don't go, I'm calling. Week 2, no, I'm going to call. Week 3, nope, I'm going to call. He was like, let me get my phone right now. Because there's a hotline for veterans, right? I was like, no. He said, then call the VA right now. I called him, and I always thought I couldn't go to the VA. Yes, I was a vet, but I wasn't a disabled vet, so I couldn't go. He was like, no, you're going to go. I made the appointment. When I got there, it was a Black doctor, which I was great. I was happy. A male doctor, but a lady was in the room with me. Within 15 minutes, I was full panic attack mode on the floor. I couldn't breathe or anything because he started asking me questions. These questions were triggers, and 33 years of stuff came out. He said, "You have severe PTSD. We usually diagnose people with PTSD and say, within community care, we'll give you an appointment within a month." He said, "You need to talk to somebody today." And 2 hours later, I started therapy. Then when I had to go see somebody else, they were like, "You don't just have severe PTSD, you have CPTSD." And I was like, "Well, what the is that?" Right? CPTSD it's a C-PTSD, is complex PTSD. If you've been sexually assaulted, raped, harassed, and kidnapped, which I was, and held against your will by people in the military because they were going to do what they were going to do, you have that, and it's a whole nother beast on top, and you don't even know, right? And so, I still need to sometimes do my therapy, and I'll call the VA, and I can. So don't be ashamed of something that happened to you that you didn't invite and weren't the cause of, even if it was this fire. Don't be ashamed that you have trauma from it, and go and speak, because trauma will take your entire voice and diminish you. And so don't allow it to happen. Go get the therapy you need. Go utilize the services that are out there. And people, it's so important, Marcus. And yes, you guys kind of hear my voice and some tears, because there are times where it's like, I can't believe I held on to this for so many years, and I was young, right? Then, of course, in the military, I had I was law enforcement. I responded to something. It wound up being a suicide. I was 19, right? We had a B-52 crash. We had the first stealth bomber crash. And when you were in security forces or law enforcement and you're dispatched to it, and at 19, you wind up seeing, dead bodies because they didn't eject. Like, that stuff will never leave. All the space shuttles, I was stationed at Edwards, and they landed there. So we guarded them. And I had been in every space shuttle that there was, including the Challenger. I had met every astronaut. And when the Challenger went up, the only person that was on the one that blew up that I didn't know was the school teacher. But we had been in that shuttle. And so when they would go up at Cape Canaveral, at my base, we went on lockdown, and we went on these 12-hour shifts. And we basically lived in our gate guards, in our gate shacks, and we had our cots and food and coolers and all this, right? And so we would always watch every shuttle launch, because we were the base that they were coming down to in a week. And we were now on lockdown for the whole week until it landed. So we were literally there that morning, and we would allow people to come in the gate. We checked their stickers and all this, but we had our TVs, and we would watch every shuttle launch. So the morning that the Challenger launched and it blew up, we froze. We literally froze. We were in shock and devastated, because we guarded that shuttle. We had been in that shuttle. We knew the astronauts and all the people. And literally, it blew up and everything disintegrated. So those images, January 28th, of when it happened, those will never leave. Every year at that time, I get migraines, I get anxiety. Like, there are certain dates and times of the year that, things have happened that will never leave. But you learn how to deal with it and cope, so that anger is not there. So you're not ready to bite somebody's head off and fight. And so, Brian, I don't know how much I know you've talked about it, and this show is therapy. I don't know if you've gone to see anybody. I know, Marcus, you talk about, nightmares that you've had. People talk about when they smell smoke or hear sirens or whatever, it kind of, makes you freeze. PTSD trauma will paralyze your life. So please, from me, the one that's always, goofing off, you guys know I'm super serious at times, but I like to have fun. Don't let it paralyze you. Don't let it take your voice. Don't let it kill you or stifle you. Go get the help that you need, so that you can cope every single day with this that we're going through, with the recovery, with, what it looks like when you move back in your house. Because if you hear there's a fire or hear sirens in the future, once you're back, do not let this almost kill you, because trauma can take you out. It can literally debilitate you. It can kill you. So didn't know I'd be in a transparency moment like this morning, but if that's what was supposed to happen, so be it. But just to encourage anybody, like for real, when it comes to your mental health and trauma that you've experienced through this fire, go and get it.
Yeah, I claim that this show is therapy. It actually is like the precursor of therapy. I still need to go see
Absolutely.
somebody because I'm going through. I'm like you, Tony. I be snapping on people.
Yep.
I don't like to be like that because I get in the corner somewhere after and go, why was I like that? Why did I talk to that person that way?
Well, do you notice when we go places like when we went to eat lunch, there were 2 seats, and the one that I sat at, because I will not sit with my back against the door or whatever. I have to see what's going on. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I look around a lot because
well, you had 2 bodyguards right there. You would even jumped up. I had a couple of sharp knives I was cutting my salad with, so
Right, and then I always am strapped, no matter where I go. And there's certain things, just your life changes, right, and your behaviors and stuff. So, if you guys are seeing behavior, I actually wrote a.
What happened to me? Oh.
He popped off. I wrote a book, and I have tons of them at my house. If anybody wants a book, it's called Becoming Me, and basically, it's a layman's guide to PTSD and CPSD and CPTSD because most people don't understand what it is. And add to the stage. And it can break it down because you may not even recognize that you need to have therapy and that you may have PTSD. And when I went through my therapy with the VA, it can be terrifying because they want to, there are certain ways that they do it, but they want to take you back to the events and make you relive them so you know it happened, it's not happening now. And it can be terrifying. And I got into this pattern of avoidance where I was doing telehealth and I was avoiding my therapist's calls. So the first week she called, it went to voicemail. I called her back. I was like, oh, I wasn't feeling well. She was like, okay. The second week she called, went to voicemail. I think I told her something again or whatever. The third time it happened, she called back to back to back until I answered the phone. She was like, I know what you're doing. It's avoidance. You do not want to face the next part that we have to talk about. So like, they know, they get it, right? And then I got over that hump though. And so if anybody does want one of the books, I will gladly, I won't charge you. I will give you one of these books because I wrote it from what I learned and to help the layman, meaning my family and my friends, understand me with PTSD and then understand what some of the terms are, some of the behaviors more than anything, right? So that if you see somebody with that, you go, okay, they may have it. And then how to gently deal with them and encourage them to go and seek some help and get some therapy. So.
Wow. We should do a whole show just on that, on your book.
Well, actually,
I remember you mentioning it before, and that should be something that we, as part of one of the events that we actually do, have that as a giveaway to share that. Because I mean, we talk about it a lot, but you have firsthand experience in the actual therapy part. Like we all have trauma, right?
Yeah.
And this obviously has affected us all, a little differently, these fires, but you've actually been through the therapy component of it. And I think that really helps to walk people through the tough thing. Just like you said, a lot of people are embarrassed and not willing to go through that aspect of it. But given what you've done, I think it's encouraging for pretty much anybody that's listening or that will listen to this in the future, because the stuff we're going through at least me personally, doesn't even compare to what you've gone through. Not even remotely. And the fact that you are still going, you've dealt with it, still dealing with it, because it's an ongoing thing, but I'm sure it becomes easier. but it's such a help, I'm sure, for those who are not in that process yet to at least get them going, and those who
Yeah.
are in that process who may have gotten stuck to continue. If you take your
This is
background
the
off,
book.
you'll be able to see it.
I know this is, I'd have to take my background off, but it's called Becoming Me, The Reclamation. I was literally trying to reclaim my life from PTSD. And it says on the front a harrowing story about how one airman reclaimed her life and went from victim to victor, because that's what I feel like. And it just talks about cognitive processing therapy. And, after my diagnosis and being diagnosed in October 17 with severe PTSD, CPTSD due to military sexual trauma and other military work-related traumas, and me holding on to it for over 33 years until I could no longer live in my personal prison, which is true. And it just breaks down, like I said, for the layman, what is PTSD, right? Because people hear it, but really, what is it? What is CPTSD? What is MST? The different stories, intentional encounters, embracing my journal, managing your memories and then emotions are 2 chapters that are super, super, super important. I also have a companion journal to go with this so that as you're reading it, and I do them as a bundle. And then in the back, I also have some journaling space, but different things that, you found it. Thank you. Jamal and Brian are so amazing, y'all. But yeah, just there's other stories of MST survivors, obviously, and different things, trauma related, military trauma related. And then there's mindfulness, right? Because I really want people to practice mindfulness. And I will just read you real quick one of the poems that I put in here, which is by Rumi, which is called The Guest House. And it says, "This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some monetary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes because each has been sent as a guide from beyond." That's Rumi. I love Rumi, but I put some mindfulness poems. I have some scriptures in here about my grace is sufficient for you and my power is perfect in weakness or perfected in weakness. I have Why the Caged Bird Sings, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And then I have daily affirmations. And so, yeah, it's a good little book to, I talk about intimacy because after you've been a MST survivor, intimacy can be odd, but it's just some really good stuff. And I just want people to understand in layman's terms, again, how to reclaim their own self from PTSD and not being bogged down forever by it. And so, yeah, I definitely have the books here at the house. I think I have close to 100 or 50 something of them still in one of my sheds, and we'll be happy to. No, not the Amazon link. Amazon messed up. I have my own website.
Okay.
So take those off if you can. I'm sorry about that. Amazon did some real messy stuff with me, and it should not even be able to be found on Amazon anymore. But I'll get my. It's becoming me. Is it .us? I think so. I gotta look. But anyway, I have them here that people would not have to order and pay for shipping. If you're local, I will gladly meet up and give you a book, and hopefully it will be helpful to somebody because the therapy is extremely helpful. Brian, I know you were talking about you need to go back to therapy because you need to go back. Oh, you're on mute.
No, I said I didn't never say I need to go back to therapy because I've never been to therapy. But the show was like free therapy to me. I do need to go talk to somebody because you can't talk to people who are in your life. Because, it's hard to talk to somebody who hasn't experienced what you've experienced to try to relate to you or even give you any sound advice.
Yeah.
Speaking with Sherry, her mom and me lost our house. And she doesn't seem
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did Brian freeze?
Yep.
And even on my becomingme.us, I don't know what's going on. Let me look at my thing and make sure my domain is still good because
It is. I found the page.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Never mind then. Maybe I just can't get to it from my laptop. I don't know what. Yep, that's it right there.
I know Brian will be back on in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
As usual. He's got to be consistent. He's had some issues virtually every day this week, so why not on Friday? Let's keep it going.
Oh, somebody's at my door. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just going to answer my front door. It's okay. You can come in. You know, bring your brother.
Yeah, this is her website. It's got a lot of good stuff on there. Who knew? I mean, I know she mentioned the book, but it was so long ago she didn't really want to. We didn't really carry on the conversation, folks. But this is her website, becomingme.us. And if you want to check it out, definitely do so. It's got some good information on there for anybody going through some tough times. He's definitely been through a lot, more than most. I'm sorry, I had muted you. No, it was all good. I was just showing the page, just encouraging people to go there and take a look at it, and we'll talk about it more often because I think it's a great resource for people to actually refer to, and it makes it. I don't know. People can relate to you even more so now.
Did you go in his room? Okay. I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second for me, baby. Thank you for saying that, Jamal, and thanks for pulling up the site and all that. But yeah, definitely anybody. I learned so much through my therapy that I think that, if you want to know, just because, like I said, you're a layman and you don't understand what it is and how it can affect you. And there's some really, really, really good techniques in here that I learned through the managing my memories and emotions that the military or the VA walked me through. Right. And so if you just push it down, that gray button. No, it's okay. And that will help people understand and be able to start managing stuff, because the emotions will come. Go through the garage. The emotions will come in a flood and you'll be like, wait a minute, I can't function. I remember one day I literally was in a grocery store on the phone with the VA. And they weren't listening to me. And that was a huge thing. I wasn't listened to when what happened to me happened, and I was like, you're not listening. You're not listening. And I literally had a full-blown panic attack. And I was on the floor in the grocery store, like hyperventilating, crying, all this. And this man came down the aisle. He was like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? He was going to call the police. So I was like, no. And I gave him the phone. And the guy at the VA, I had asked for a supervisor. And at first he wasn't giving it to me. And he was a man, right? And so then they got me to another rep. And this man kind of helped me. And they helped me breathe through it. I think he called the crisis line or whatever, the VA crisis line, and helped me breathe through. But I was in Monterey. I was literally in a Safeway on the floor in a grocery store, because you don't even realize when these triggers will happen and when the flood of the emotions and everything will just come. Now I've learned how to manage those emotions, how to manage a lot of the stuff. And it's like, okay, if I feel like I'm getting triggered or something, I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. It's not happening to you right now. You're not in that space right now. So for anybody that had to evacuate from the fire, if they hear a siren or something or see another fire, it's not happening right now. How can you, take yourself through it and breathe and do some things to really cope? So, so that's that kind of stuff. And those techniques are in my book too. So, and if anybody feels like, can I ask you a question about it, Tony? Can I talk to you about this? I'll say yes, and I may talk to you, but I'm going to always redirect you to a professional that can help you, because this trauma will also stay in your body if you don't begin to release some of those emotions and the things that come along with the trauma of the fire.
Great information, Tony. Again, I'm sorry you had to go through that, all the stuff that you've gone through, and yet at the same time, in a way, perhaps you were supposed to, so you can be a assistant to some other folks. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're getting the help that you need. Sounds like you've come a long way.
Long way. I remember when I first started the therapy and I was up there in Monterey and I came home because I would work up there during the week, come home on the weekends. Some weekends I would stay. But when I actually went to my parents' house and told them about the different you remember when the other shuttle was being brought to the Science Museum or whatever in LA?
Mm-hmm.
My mom was so gung-ho, like, let's go. Because they wanted,
like, no.
They were driving it here, right? They were driving it from Arizona to through here, and she wanted to go and see. And she was telling everybody in our family, let's go. And I was like, I'm good, And she was like, come on, we're going to go. Let's go. And I said, I'm not effing going. I just like instantly, because she was like, this is historic. This is great. Let's go. But she didn't know yet. And so my thing was I snapped at her, right? And then it was like, oh my gosh. So then when I went through the therapy and had to come and tell my parents about the therapy that I was in and the diagnosis that I had and what actually happened, they were just stunned. I think my dad cried. I know I told my mom before I told my dad because I'm like my dad's twin, and it happened at the base that my dad was stationed at because we were both stationed at the same base. And so I didn't, that's part of why I never told him. And so it was tough. And then I also told all of my children, gathered them and told them, and I had to apologize to them because there were certain things that I did and ways that I raised them as a result of the PTSD, right? And I was so much more strict on my daughters than my sons and more protective and all this. And so I had to like come clean and tell them like, look, this is what your mom went through. And I apologize. And that was hard. It's always hard as a parent to say I messed up or whatever, but to then tell them. So that's part of why I wrote the book too, because I really wanted people to understand, like, if you're dealing with a family member and you see these things happening and them snapping and going off and different stuff, they may be dealing with PTSD. And especially if they're a military member, a veteran or a current military member.
So, Tony, I have a question. I apologize for interrupting, but you bring up a really interesting situation there. So if someone does kind of snap like that, in particular, if you know they're former military, how do you even... how do you bring it up? Excuse me. Is it as easy as just saying, hey, do you have trauma? Maybe you should get checked out? Because I think that could go sideways.
Well, the first thing would be to ask if they had any thoughts of hurting themselves or anyone else. That is the very first thing that I learned during my therapy. And you don't think about it, right? But just say, you know what? I want to make sure you're okay. And you ask permission. Like, can I give you a hug? Right? Where family, we just be like, here, let me hug you. No, just be like, is it okay if I touch you? Is it okay if I hug you?
Even if it's family.
Exactly. Because let me tell you, I have been in my church a real long time, but when certain men come to give me a hug, I recoil. And people have noticed, like, why do you do that? And I'm like, you could feel people's energy or whatever, but I recoil, even to this day. And that's part of that PTSD for me, right? And the CPTSD. But I want you to approach and ask me, is it okay if I give you a hug? Is it okay if I, whatever, right? So that would be the first, get their permission, and then say, are you okay? Do you not, you're not going to hurt yourself, or do you feel like you would hurt yourself or anyone else in a decent way, and be as gentle as you can. And then say, I've noticed some things and I would be happy to accompany you to see someone that you might be able to talk to if you feel like you want to have some help, right? Always make sure you're partnering with people, because that's part of what's in my book, right? About the permission and then going with someone or saying you want to or whatever, and offering yourself to someone. And not just saying, oh, you got this going on, or you're acting crazy, and I'm going to call authorities on you, or or whatever. Don't ever do that, because we are going to get super defensive.
Right.
And yeah, go ahead. I'm going to get super defensive, and then I'm going to You sure he's not in the bathroom? Because that light is on, right? Is he in the shower? He must not be. He might. I wonder, did he have a small seizure? Okay, sorry. Anyway,
Need to go check?
Yeah, no, his sister came over to visit and she went and checked in the bathroom, but she was like, he's not in here, but the light's on. I'm like, he gotta be if he's not in his room. And he has seizures. This is my god grandson and he lives with me. But his sister came to visit. So is he all right? Where is he? No, he's answering slow. He probably had a seizure. I'll deal with it in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, those are the important things that should happen, Jamal, is the permission, the partnering with someone so that they don't feel as if, you're going to make them do something or whatever. That is probably the most important thing.
That's great information. The reason I asked though is, sometimes we may interact with people, and I'm not saying me specifically, but just the people in general.
Yep.
And people may be, snappy, and it just might be something now you think like, oh, that's just how so-and-so is. But now people might want to consider, hey, that might be how so-and-so is, but it might be because of something they had gone through. And to be able to bring that conversation up in a delicate way, but still be very effective, I think is something that I was trying to get at. So
yeah, and just to say, is there anything that I can help you with? Mm-hmm. Right? Because then it's not, is there anything that you need that I can give you or provide to you or something like that, right? It's just the way you approach and the gentleness that you talk to. And to be honest, this is how we should talk to everybody every day, right? Mm-hmm. With kindness and with compassion and with the shades, with kindness and compassion and with gentleness. Which can diffuse anything, right? But when you're dealing with someone that potentially you see some of the behaviors that are in here, you might be like, well, daggone, I know somebody in my family or a friend that behaves like this, and they very well may have some PTSD symptoms, right?
Yeah.
So, this page, I'm just going to read a couple. It says, does PTSD affect you? What might be the signs? And so here's just a list of some of the symptoms, because these are what I was dealing with. You might feel on edge all the time. You may have recurring nightmares, flashback, or memories of an event or events that have happened, and it might feel like it's happening all over again. You may have a loss of interest. You might have sleepiness, or even feel numb or emotionally cut off from others at times. You may have anger, rage, or irritability that comes and goes, right? Just quickly or something. You may feel like you're constantly on guard or hypervigilant. I am. You may isolate yourself and stay home more than you used to in an effort to protect yourself or feel safe. You may feel like you have no voice and that people are not hearing you, which could lead to outbursts of anger. You may be startled very easily or jumpy when you hear sudden noises, right? Or somebody that hears a siren, or, oh, there's a fire, right? You may feel like you have no control over your life. You may feel depressed often, and you may have anxiety or anxiety attacks regularly. So those are some of the signs and the symptoms that I have in here. And one of the things that I thought was really important to put in my book is that a PTSD diagnosis does not mean that someone is crazy or harmful to you or others, because it's a very hurtful stigma and a myth, and I have that in here. It can become a very disruptive force in your life if you're not aware of it, or that you may be affected by it, and it can control your entire life if you go untreated. So that's just some little things off of a couple pages. But again, that's you can bring the girls in if you want. That's just something that I put because, again, for someone that doesn't understand and may deal with someone in their family or a friend or see some symptoms or whatever, it's a good resource if anybody, wants it. But you can, like I said, get it from me locally because I have it. So they don't have to go and order it.
Well, shoot. This is a powerful conversation. It went in a direction we didn't plan on it, but that's the beauty of Altadena Talks. It's an organic conversation that can go where it needs to go. And I obviously this is where it needed to go today. So, Tony,
Yeah.
I thank you for sharing your details of your life
Breathe in
again.
and out a little bit now.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
yeah.
If it
Yeah.
helps somebody else, it's worth the share.
I'm sure it will. Absolutely. So, and
Woosah,
Exactly.
MD is back. So
Come back,
I'm
me.
still here. I'm
I
still
know.
here.
I know, but
So,
we're an
B,
hour and
do
40
you
minutes in.
think
Go ahead.
that anything you heard from me, and I know next time I see you, I'm gonna just put some of these in the car. Do you think that it even helped you, or you saw some things, Brian, that you want to go and talk to somebody about potentially? Did you recognize any things I read from in here about?
Oh, I definitely need to go talk to somebody. I just haven't found the time to do it. I know that you just, I remember my roommate did therapy sessions through teletherapy, and I might end up exploring that aspect of it.
So let me just say
But
this to you:
this
you
one,
should be your first priority.
well, that's what I'm doing. Sunday
Okay.
through Friday, I'm going to Vegas. Not to go out and hang out. I just want to sleep.
Okay.
I just want to just sleep when I want to sleep and wake up, get on the computer, do some work, go down to the jacuzzi, get in that, come back up and go to sleep again. That's going to be my week.
We tend to prioritize everybody and everything else, and we put ourselves on the back burner. So you need to go talk to somebody. I know you do this show as part of your therapy, but there are places down at the Paseo, I think if they're still there or whatever we announce, you can walk there from our office and go talk to somebody. So my encouragement to you is when you get back after your Vegas woosah time, go and do that because you're worth it and you deserve to have someone to sit down and talk to. Because if not, that trauma will just hold in every part of your body. And next thing you know, you got an ache here or something here. You're snapping on people. You're not releasing some of that. And yes, I have experienced it. Right. And so, yes, good, Marcus. Yeah, there are therapy apps. And I'm not talking about talk to Chat GPT for therapy, but there are actual like therapy apps. No,
Who
because
does that?
there are people that do it. I know people. I used to work with some folks that they talk to Chat all the time, and there are kids that have done it, and Chat told them kill themselves, and they have teenagers and stuff. But
Gemini has been putting out commercials about having conversations
they
about their
do.
personal life. Get out of here.
It is absolutely insane to me. But there are professionals that are trained to help with that. So Brian and anybody else, you're worth it. Make the time. It could be an hour that you go sit and talk to somebody, but that can be a meaningful hour that could change your life. And we are always available to people and all kinds of other things, whether it's a job, whether it's this podcast, whether it's our children, whatever it is. And we put ourselves last. And mothers always do it because we're raising kids and all that. But even as men, and especially Black men in our society, don't take that step. It's always kind of been a stigma and all this. We need to really hold on. Here comes another call from LACC. Hold on one second. Hello.
Yeah, I've been, the problem I have is when people ask me how I'm doing, they're not prepared for the answer. And I don't think they're really ready to listen. So, of course, as a man, what you say is, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm whatever, just to move past that because they're never going to be ready. Like, if you ask me, if I ask you how you doing and you go into this breakdown situation, I'm going to sit there and just listen because that's what you want. I don't get that.
That's what they need.
I get the rolling of the eyes. I get the distraction over here. I get the looking at the phone, from the people that I'm talking to that ask me the same exact question, but don't want to hear it. So I don't say anything to anyone. I just keep it to myself and keep quiet.
And that's the wrong thing to do. So
Well,
you got to find that person that you can talk to and get that out. And if it's not,
a lot of times I just don't even want anybody to say nothing. I just need to get it out, and I just need you to lend your ear for 20 minutes. That's pretty much it.
all right, well, here.
No, I ain't talking about it now.
No. And I didn't mean about now. I didn't mean about now, but you can call me. But even on top of that, Brian, walk down the street to that spot or call the person where you could do a free and
text me that information.
Okay, and get your info and get it so you can talk to somebody. There's sometimes you can text your therapist and be like, "Hey, I really need to talk right now," right? And they could do a quick call or whatever, or telehealth. Everybody has telehealth now. So don't allow yourself to be put on the back burner anymore because it's not healthy. It's not good for you at all. It's not good for any of us. And now that, when we were growing up, it was a stigma to go to therapy, especially in Black families, right? It was, oh, you need to pray or whatever, right? Well, I believe.
Yeah, I got that a lot.
I believe in prayer and therapy together. It has saved my life. So, yeah, do everything that you can for you. And if it means I'll get out here middle of the day, y'all don't know, I'll put this hair up and put a bonnet or whatever on, and I'll go sit in the jacuzzi if I'm stressed out. That's why when I got my house, I built that deck and put a jacuzzi back there because that's therapeutic for me. And I can, my phone, I'll turn on music on my phone because the speaker's in it, and I'll veg out for an hour or so in the jacuzzi. I'll get out shriveled, but by the time I'm done being in it for an hour and a half, I'm like, all right, I can go. Right?
You're looking a little prunish.
Right, I'm like prunish, but I'm gonna go because that's a quick one. And then I have this other little not machine, but this game that throws these darts. Remember, Brian, you saw it? It's like this hatchet that I found at Costco for $75. When I'm pissed off, sometimes I go out there and throw all 8 of them hatchets, get them, go do them again. But you got to have a quick outlet. And then when I need to talk to my therapist, I'm making a call. And the VA has them almost on 24-hour standby for us if we need to, right? And there's a hotline. But there's all kinds. We have an app. There's an app for veterans. There's a PTSD app, and there's a woman's PTSD app now. And so I do have so many resources available to me, and I'm thankful. But the resources are out there. You're absolutely a zillion% worth it. And your voice is to be valued, even if it is you need to call me to vent. Because I've called you to vent before, Brian. I'd be like, yesterday even, I called you when I was getting ready to ride the plane, get on the plane. I was like, check this out. Let me tell you what happened. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And you said some things and we laughed. And then it was like, all right, I'm cool.
But the whole thing is, I'm listening to you. I get
exactly.
It. I know why you need to do it. I don't, I'm not looking at the time and looking at this because, if you call me and you got something to say, or I have somebody call me and be like, oh, never mind, you're busy. You called for a reason. What was it? Mm-hmm. Go from there. Because we all need, and that's why I'm thankful that we grew up in this type of town because we know each other. Yeah. We know that if I need to get something out, you need to get something out, Jamal needs to get something out, we can talk to each other. We got a few friends around town that we know we can talk to without having to worry about, oh, this brother came to me telling me his problems.
Yeah.
I keep your stuff confidential.
I think what's important also about this conversation is hopefully people can start recognizing within themselves that they may have some stuff going on. Because a lot of times we're ignorant to what's going on within ourselves and maybe how we interact with people. And for some folks, maybe they see this or maybe they're taking heed to what you're talking about and will be approached by someone in a nice way to ask them if they have any issues or, if they have any concerns and they're offered to walk this path with them. Hopefully they can actually start that acknowledgement phase. And then when they start going to therapy, then even more will be revealed and healed, which is a good thing. But yes, even if you don't have the quote unquote therapist, find a friend to at least start with, somebody that will listen to you, not throw any judgment your way, but just hear what you have to say. Yeah, I'm looking behind you too, B. Like, who is that walking up on you?
On the side, right?
Yeah.
But here's some other things I want to.
This car right there.
Oh, okay.
A couple other things that I didn't mention in what is PTSD, but the complex PTSD. If anyone feels alone, deep aloneness or loneliness, a loss of faith, even temporarily, overeating or overindulgence, like I said, you shopping and doing things. The somatic flashbacks, visual flashbacks, emotional flashbacks, helplessness and hopelessness, toxic guilt or shame, always searching for a rescuer repeatedly, persistent sadness, potentially being suicidal, and then having emotional self-regulation or regulation, real intense emotions. Like, let me know. I will drive and bring you a book today because I have some for real deal information from what I learned about myself and about PTSD in this book. And if you want, I'll be off work in about an hour and I'll drive to Dina. If somebody's in Dina, I'll be off work in about 30 minutes. And I'll drive and I will bring you a book wherever you are. And it will be at no
Well, I
cost.
know what kind of therapy you could do today. We could do a lunch therapy.
And bring both
is it that time again?
Yeah. It's our meeting time. We don't have just lunch. It's our monthly meeting because as a board we have to meet. And I do need to bring each of you these books because y'all didn't even know about them. But yeah, I will give this to anybody because if it helps, I definitely want to be a help, like we are doing with the community, and that's that. So where are we eating today, y'all?
Same spot we met last time. We don't want to reveal our source.
Okay. What time? Mom, can you get there?
Possibly. I'll know in a few minutes.
Oh,
I just gotta pick up a couple things for the birthday.
Whose birthday?
It was my daughter's birthday. You weren't on at the time. Yeah, sweet 16. Yeah,
I was having glitches and happy birthday.
Thank you.
Are you on school pickup today too?
Yeah, but I mean I might be able to. Just like I said, once we get off, I have a couple things I have to do and I can figure it out.
All right, well let us know because it's noon. So
what do you want to do? 1:30, 1 o'clock? What?
I could be there at 1:30, 2 o'clock, but he said he has a couple things and he may or may not.
The later, the worse for me. But once I get off, I'll be able to find out a little bit more.
Okay. So with that, we are going to say segue to Toodles. We'll see y'all later because we have our meeting. But I am thankful that it kind of went in this direction and you know, maybe some people heard some things or something that's helpful. And so, yeah, we'll go and we'll have our talk and our meeting for our foundation and then break bread and go from there.
TGIF people.
If you guys want to find out more about our Power 100 inductee listing, you can go right to our website at mp.AltadenaTalks.org. It's right there.
Let me go there.
Yes, please. It's a beautiful thing. You know, I did that while we were sitting there talking.
There it is. Power 100 on the raise.
Man, click on that bad boy.
You gotta put the new asset on there though.
Scroll down.
Okay. I don't see it. Okay. I don't see the new one that they created and sent.
That is the new one. Oh, they send something?
Yeah, you forwarded it to me. In my email.
No, I got that off of here. They haven't sent us anything yet.
Oh, because it's different. It has like the ebony on the side, the different color, and then we weren't in that arrangement. I was up at the top.
No, this is the actual website.
I know. Yeah.
So it's embedded on our page.
Cool beans.
So this way, not only can they go see us, but they can go see other, what do you call it?
That's last year, right?
Inductees. Yeah, that was last year. That's just the little snippet that they did.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool people that are part of this. Very lot.
Oh man, we are among some prestigious. We're in a room.
Just the mayors alone.
The three mayors. Yeah.
Baltimore,
I can't wait to talk to them.
Me too. I'm like, and Sterling K. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, God, how you put us in the company of this particular
Carmelo Anthony? You got
Carmelo Anthony, Mara Bach,
Akil.
Akil. I'm like, we are in a really amazing class, and
yeah, I know her sister. You know,
I'm
we
so
used to be
thankful,
real good friends.
and it's pretty incredible. Yeah, super
Yeah, I'm
dope.
excited. I'm already getting measured for my dope suit that I'm gonna order to wear there. I've already figured it out. I'm gonna send y'all the link. Y'all gonna
Yeah,
be
because
like,
it's black tie, right?
oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Wait till you see what I get, my ensemble. Woo! Courtesy of Sherry because she's paying for it.
That's terrible.
that no, it's not. That's her way of thanking me for always being there for her events. You know,
No,
I've
I
done a
mean
lot
the
of
way you
events
said
with
it.
her.
I meant the way you said it.
Oh well, you know, I'm always
That's
paying for
cool.
everything anyway, so I like to be able to say somebody paid for me. And that's a rarity.
Oh, Saturday, September 27th. Mika, did you have that LA County flyer with the free West Side Story thing? Because Mika just texted. Okay, I'm gonna forward it to you.
A lot of stuff going on September 27th. Seems like
A lot.
everybody picked that date to do something.
They did. So Mika from Loma Alta Park, she just said, "Hey Tony, attaches the LA County Parks Community Meeting flyer and LA Opera flyer at Loma Alta Park. Please share with the community. Thanks." So I just sent it.
What time is that?
It is. Doesn't say. It says free and open to all ages. Saturday, September 27th, Loma Alta Park. RSVP for a free event at the park. It's West Side Story. You know, they're doing it like a movie in the park. Bring your chairs
Yeah,
and all
because
that.
the block party is from 3 to 7 that same day. That's what I was trying to figure out what
Yeah,
time.
it says pack a picnic and lawn chairs for opera, outdoors, live in high def on the stage. But it literally on this flyer doesn't have a time.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
it
better
does if
text
you go
it
to the
before you
QR
send
code.
it out.
No, it probably when
Yeah.
you go to the QR code or the website, which is laopera.org/opera in the park, it's probably there a time. But it's also obviously going to be when it's dark because it's going to be a screen. I don't know. Don't give me the
No,
line.
they can show it during the day.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
when the pandemic happened and the Rose Bowl had their
Yeah.
drive up movie thing, it was during the day.
Oh, it's at 4:30. So it
Yeah.
says on the website, it says pre-show activities begin at 4:30. The broadcast begins at 7:30 p.m. So it is at
Oh,
night.
that's actually perfect because the block party's over at 7.
So go there, laopera.org /opera in the park, and you can RSVP there right now.
Remember, we always ask these questions because we have to appear at these things too. So we don't want to have an overlap.
RSVP now because I want to take my parents. They would love that. I'm going to see how many I could RSVP for, if it's just one or what. But yeah. Thank you, Jamal, for bringing that up. So everyone have an amazing day and weekend. See you all at some point somewhere.
And we'll see you guys in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, and then tomorrow, it lets you do up to 8. I'm going to do 8, and then that'll cover us, and if we got some
Good.
more.
That'd be perfect.
Okay, cool beans. All
we'll
right.
just be breaking down the table, so that'd be perfect. You can head up there and get situated.
Yep.
You got to bring your own chairs, right? So I'll make sure I bring a couple of chairs.
Yep. Definitely. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later or see you later. And everybody have a great weekend. See you maybe at some events. And if I see you out and I have books and you want one, let me know.
Jamal, you have the con.
Yeah, I know. I got it. TGI Friday, y'all. Have a great weekend. Till Monday. Peace.
Woo-hoo!